A mother of two stabbed to death in front of her own boyfriend, and it's not a late-night robbery or a home invasion. Cops say it's revenge by the boyfriend's mother. And joining us now is Richard Hartman. It was his mother who allegedly stabbed his fiancé to death. And Richard, first of all, I cannot imagine how you and your family are feeling. We are so sorry for your loss. Richard, I want to have you kind of take us back to what happened that very difficult night. You said you heard nudging and shouting. You were in the house at the time. Then what happened next?
Well, I'm sorry. I heard some, they was kind of fussing, so I didn't pay no mind. I was watching TV, and I heard some shuffling in the other room, so I ran in there. I broke them up. Tanny turned away to walk towards the kitchen, and I was turning away, and out the corner of my eye, I seen Mom pull something out the back of her sweats. And when I turned around, it was already in the back of Tanya. She fell to the ground. And so I'm fighting Mom off with one arm, and I'm holding pressure on the wound the best I can. I let off the wound to get my phone to call 911, and Mom comes around and stabs her again and starts laughing. Why don't you just die? So I let go of the wounds. I'm struggling with Mom to make sure she don't stab me or go after nobody else in the house. And then when the cops came, I let them in, and I just went in the front yard and started crying because I knew what happened. She looked right at me, and she took a big breath of air, and it was like all of her color left. It was like her spirit left her body. And
Richard,
the police was telling me that they took her for X-rays, but
she was in your arms when she passed away, Richard?
Yeah, and then Mom looked like she was coming back again, so I let go of Tanya. And I was trying to fight my mom until the police came, trying to restrain her from hurting Tanya anymore, coming after me. Because how do I know one of them stabs wasn't intended for me? And she just got carried away. How do I know she wasn't going to go after my kids or my dad that I've been fighting my whole life to take care of my father? I mean, I want to make this clear. My mother's my mother. I will always love my mother. But what she did to me and them girls, I will never forgive. My father has dementia. He has MS. He's been disabled my whole life. He doesn't understand why his wife hasn't come home yet, or why he can't go see her or call her. My oldest, with her autism, she hasn't quite grasped it yet. It's still processing with her. My youngest, we had to tell her that God decided to take Mom home so he could take care of her and make her not sick no more because Tanya had multiple health issues. But I can't tell them the whole story. They're too young to know what really happened and why Mima's in time out on vacation. Until they get older, I can't tell them the truth. I had to basically lie to my kids to protect them, and that was almost just as hard as anything I've been through, lying to my kids. But I have to protect my daughters no matter what.
Richard, how old are your daughters, too? Some very, very precious young girls. And one of them, I understand, walked in and saw their mother, lying in the ground?
My youngest is 6. Her birthday's actually Sunday. This happened 2 weeks before her birthday. Oh. My oldest is 9. When I came home, my youngest told me she looked out her door and seen the paramedics and Mommy was fainted. And I never told her what happened. But she come up to me yesterday. She said, "Daddy, you got to quit smoking cigarettes because that's what killed Mommy." And it was just so hard for me just to hear that. I mean, it's not a problem about that. But my youngest, after Katrina, we moved in together. Me and my mother bought a house together because both my parents disabled. Tanya had diabetes. She had lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and a heart condition. And she was in nursing school. She had a year left in nursing school. With all the things going on in the house, she still went through school, still fought through every challenge and smiled. And
what was the source of friction, Richard, between your fiance and your mom? And did you see this coming in any form?
The friction. I had 2 dominant females in the house, so every once in a while there was bickering. There was not really a power struggle, but no matter what me and Tanny did, it was never good enough.
Did it ever get to physical altercations before, or did it...
Not like this. There might have been a little nudge or something, but it was always just a little bickering, Then they'd walk off and kind of cool down. They'd get back together, and they'd hang out, watch TV, play a game, or they'd be friends again in a couple minutes.
No, nothing beyond a nudge before.
Well, no, not with her. Now, me growing up personally, you know, I went through the abuse. I went through the hatred. You know, my mom told me I should have never been born. I was a waste of flesh. You know, that was me. When my kids was born, my mom totally changed. She was a different person. She treated these kids like they was gold. You know, she did everything in her power to make sure the girls was happy. And for somebody that loved them kids so much, how can you take away the most important thing in their life? Especially 2 weeks before my youngest birthday, because she don't understand. You know, all she knows is the two most important women that was always there for her are gone. You know, I was here by myself. I was the one that worked. I had 5 disabled people in my house that I supported.